Hello, my name is Aubrey, and today I have my spring TBR. I would just like everyone to know that even though I am fooling you with this cute little spring dress I have on, it is currently 30 degrees outside. I'm not happy about it. I don't know, what's happening with the weather. It was, so nice a couple of weeks ago. We were having, 70-degree days, and, it was gorgeous, and the flowers were popping out of the ground. And this week has just been like winter all over again, and I don't understand. So but yeah, so we're just gonna pretend that it's spring and that spring is right around the corner, because I'm hoping that it is. And I am going to talk about the books that I'm hoping to read in the next few months. Full disclaimer, I am a mood reader, so any and all of these are subject to change. I'm going to start with my high priority books and just work my way down to the lower priority stuff, so let's just get started. So first off, I have a trilogy that I am rereading, and it is the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. I am rereading this in anticipation of the now finished sequel trilogy. I think it's called The Last Hours. It's the Chain of Gold, that one. It just finished. Everyone's talking about it, and I have been patiently waiting for it to finish so that I can binge it all in one go, but I felt like I really needed to reread the first trilogy. It's been a really long time since I've read a Shadowhunter book, a really long time, and I just felt like I needed to kind of reacclimate myself into the world and the magic system, but also with the characters and just everything that goes down at the London Institute, because I know we're following the children of these characters, and it's been a really long time since I read this, so I felt like I needed the refresher, and I've been wanting to reread this for a few years now. So I'm finally getting to that. It's been really fun. I'm a little over halfway through this first book, and it's been delightful. I just love these characters so, so much. Tessa as a main character is a little bit bland, but I feel like all of the other characters, all the side characters, the romance interests are all just so vibrant and fun and lovable, and that just makes the whole series for me. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't really need to talk about this series, right? This is OG booktube right here. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish these as quickly as possible so that I can get to the Last Hours trilogy. I have Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron. I'm hoping that the Illumicrate Chain of Thorns comes in soon. I'm surprised we haven't gotten it yet. I cannot wait to read these. Sorry, I don't have that much to say. I've heard great things. I don't really want to even look up a synopsis for these. Personally, I just don't want to know anything. I want to go into these completely blind and just hopefully fall in love with them as much as I love the original trilogy. Okay, and then next up, I would like to continue another trilogy that I've been reading, which is the Red Rising trilogy. So I would like to read Golden Sun and Morning Star. I finished Red Rising last week. I really enjoyed it. I was a little bit of the way through the Golden Sun audiobook on Scribd when it got taken off. A bunch, almost half or more of the audiobooks that I had saved on Scribd just got taken off, and they all have this little notice that it's oh, it'll be back on March 29th. So not super happy about that. So yeah, this is paused for now, but once the audiobooks become available again, I will continue the trilogy, because I did really enjoy the first one, and I've heard they only get better. So this is just a fun sci-fi dystopian. The first book had a lot of Hunger Games vibes. We're following this low-class character named Darrow, who is a red, and reds are bottom of the barrel of society. They're not quite slaves, but they are heavily restricted in what they can do. They can't really move up in the world. Nobody can move up in the world. You're like stuck at your station. And he's just living this kind of crappy existence until some events happen, some truths about the world. It's set on Mars, by the way. I don't think I said that, but there's some truths about his society are revealed to him, and he is kind of swept up in this plot to infiltrate and like kind of take down the governing tier called the Golds. And he goes through this transformation that allows him to like pass for a gold, and he has to go to this like gold school, but the gold school is like really just kind of a fucked up competition where they all are kind of like fighting. They're not supposed to kill each other, but there's like a lot of death and they're trying to win, and it's just like it's very Hunger Games. But I don't know, it was fun and I want to read the next two like as soon as possible, please. Why Scribd? Why did you do this? Okay, and then I have some books that might surprise some of you. I did an unhaul like a couple of years ago, and I unhauled some of these books, and it is the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. I have just been in such a YA mood. Like, I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if like rereading the Infernal Devices has just got me feeling really nostalgic, but I saw the audiobooks for Shatter Me on Scribd, and I was like just feeling really nostalgic. This is a series I've read, by the way. At least the original trilogy I had read, and I had unhauled the books because I just thought I lost interest in reading them. I didn't think I would pick them up ever again. I wasn't interested in continuing the series, so I unhauled them. But I just got this like craving to reread them, and so I was like, okay, let's try the audiobooks out and see if they're any good. And when I tell you that I have been devouring the series, like I binge read books 1 through 3 plus the novellas in like 4 days. Like I couldn't put them down all over again. I was just as obsessed as I was the first time reading them. Like I don't know, they were just like pure serotonin. But again, Scribd took off a bunch of audiobooks, and now most of the Shatter Me books that were on Scribd via audio are not there anymore, and I'm dying. So I read the first 3 books plus the novellas, and then I went on Amazon and ordered the box set because I don't know what to do with myself. I have to know what happens next, because there are, even though Ignite Me ends in a pretty satisfying way, it wraps up the original trilogy pretty well, there were still a lot of like unanswered questions that I don't think I noticed like upon my first read of it. And now I'm like, well, wait, I have all these there's like still stuff we don't know. And I'm just like, I'm dying to read them. So this has just been kind of a fun, I don't know, like rediscovering of something that I used to love that I thought I wouldn't love now, but I do. So yeah, I'm planning to just like eat those books up as fast as possible when they arrive at my house. So yeah, and then the other, perhaps like, this is just like an internally funny thing that I have put on my TBR, is the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black, because I like up until a couple of weeks ago when I was like, I just want to read YA. I want to read all the YA. I had no interest in this series. Like I had zero interest. I was like, I'm gonna pass. Like I don't know. It just like didn't appeal to me. And all of a sudden I'm like, I want to read that. I want to read it right now. Like I want to read it. I want to be reading it. So I haven't ordered them yet. I'm trying to hold off until I've at least finished the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I want to finish Shatter Me, like the Shatter Me series. And if I'm still craving, like if I'm still dying to read them, I'll order them and read them. But like my moods change quickly, so I don't want to order them and then have them sit around and then realize that like I'm no longer in a YA mood by the time I've like finished some of these things. I'm holding off, but right now I want to read those so badly. Like I don't know. Next on my TBR, I have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This was one of the secret novels. At this point in time, I am not like a huge Brandon Sanderson fan yet. I've only read a couple of his books and they've been hit or miss. But I backed the Kickstarter anyway because I can't help myself. And we got this beauty in the mail and like she is stunning. Okay, just like 100% living her best life. And papers are gorgeous. There's illustrations in here. Chapter headers have this like viney thing going on, and the vines like are increasing with every chapter, which is really cool. I have heard such good early things about this. People keep saying that it's whimsical and magical, which are just like music to my ears, you know? In the middle of the ocean, there was a girl who lived upon a rock. This was not an ocean like the one you have imagined, nor was it the rock like the one you have imagined. The girl, however, might be as you imagined, assuming you had imagined her as thoughtful, soft-spoken, and overly fond of collecting cups. Based on what I've heard from other people, she lives on this like island or something where there's like all these different like poisonous spores. Actually, that's all I know about it. So yeah, I don't know. This just looks delightful and I want to read it like ASAP. So it's going on the TBR. Next, I have a book that I am so torn about. It is The Adventures of Amina AlSarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I want to read this so badly. It hurts. First of all, this is the Illumicrate edition. It's just like she's living her best life. There's foiling everywhere. There's foiling on the inside. Can you see that it's shiny on the inside of the end papers? Like, I've never seen foiling on end papers before. Anyway, I have read and loved the City of Brass trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty, and I want to read this so badly. I'm dying. I want to read it so badly. But those of you who know me know that I don't like to read unfinished series because waiting for the next book is so unbelievably painful. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand that feeling of not having the next book. Not to mention that, like, I always forget, like, a ton, like, most of the things that I need to know in between the time of reading the first book and the second. And so, like, I always have to reread. It's a whole thing. So, like, I shouldn't. I should just be patient and wait. But I don't want to. I don't wanna. This is like an older female character going on a seafaring adventure. How am I not supposed to read this? How am I not already reading it? Amina AlSarafi has survived backstabbing rogues, vengeful merchant princes, several husbands, and one actual demon to retire peacefully with her family to a life of piety, motherhood, and absolutely nothing that hints of the supernatural. But when she's offered a job no bandit could refuse, she jumps at the chance for one final adventure with her old crew that will make her a legend and offers a fortune that will secure her and her family's future forever. Yet the deeper Amina dives, the higher the stakes, for there's always risk in wanting to become a legend, to seize one last chance of glory, to savor just a bit more power. The price might be your very soul. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The indecision is awful. Like, people who can just, like, keep up with books and remember details, like, I don't know how you do that. What kind of witchcraft are you tapped into? Because I need a hit. Like, I just, like... Okay, and then I have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I'm kind of in the mood to read this. That's... Right? That's like... you guys know The Song of Achilles. I don't need to explain the plot of this to you. It just feels like a springtime book that will, like, end my life, right? So, yeah, maybe... Maybe I will read it this spring. Next up, I have The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Banner. This was a Fairy Loot edition, I believe, that we got sometime last year, and it just sounds really cute. It's like a contemporary fantasy romance, and the thing that has me is that on the back there's a quote by Helen Hoang, that says, a uniquely charming mixture of whimsy and the macabre that completely won me over. If you ever wished for an adult romance that felt like Hell's Moving Castle, this is that book. So, like, of course I want an adult romance like Hell's Moving Castle. Like, of course. Okay, this next one, I need your guys' help. It is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Hostet? Oh my god, I'm so dyslexic. Fawcett. Here's what I need to know. If any of you have read this, does it end satisfactorily? As I saw on Goodreads that there was going to be another book, but my general, like, perception online was that a lot of people who read this were surprised by the fact that there was going to be another book, which leads me to believe that this feels like a standalone. So can I read this and be satisfied at the end? Please let me know. Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is the foremost expert on the study of fairies. She is a genius scholar and a meticulous researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But Emily Wilde is not good at people. She prefers the company of her books and her dog Shadow. Same. So when she arrives in the hardscrabble village of Hransvik, Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Bamblebee. Oh my god. Okay, but as Emily gets closer to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bramblebee, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. I just think this sounds so cute and whimsical, and I really want to read it. So please, 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 if you have read this, let me know if I can read it. Okay, next I have A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. And this is a sequel to A River Enchanted, which I read last year and really loved. I read it because I thought it was a standalone and it was not, but that's okay. So yeah, I enjoyed the first book very much. I think I will probably need to like reread it, or at least read like a summary of it before diving into this, but I want to get to it sooner rather than later. We're following this bard who gets called back to his home isle where all of these girls have gone missing. They're going missing. It's very mysterious. And his old rival, who is now like the leader of his clan, has called him home for his help because as a bard, he can play music, and the spirits on the isle, like, respond to that music. So she calls him home to get his help with these spirits to figure out what's going on with these disappearing girls. And so there's this, like, mystery going on. There's some romance, like, kind of enemies to lovers, but not really, because they're both grown and they know that their childhood rivalry was kind of stupid a long time ago. So, but yeah, it was really good, beautifully written, very atmospheric. It's set on like a Scottish isle. Yeah, just like really enjoyable. So want to get to this. And the last book I have is a more recent acquisition, and it is Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. And I just bought this. I found it for pretty cheap, and I picked it up because I'd heard good things. And I'm putting it on the TBR because it just looks so springy, right? The colors, it's all pink and like blue and purple. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm in a YA mood. It's a YA book. We're following a girl who I think like goes on an adventure to learn how to make magical tea. So yeah, our main character Ning accidentally killed her mother with a poison tea by brewing a poison tea, and that same poison tea now threatens to take the life of her sister. So she joins this competition for tea making, and the winner of the competition will receive a favor from the princess, which Ning believes will be the key to saving her sister's life. Between the backstabbing competitors and bloody court politics and a mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret, Ning might actually be the one in more danger. Yeah, this is like 364 pages. It sounds like a fun time. I've heard good things, so yeah. Okay, I believe that's it for my TBR. Is it too many books? Probably. Will I change my mind about over half of them? Probably. But whatever, TBRs are fun, and it can be nice to kind of like focus my brain in a direction, even if we like veer off course by a lot. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you will be reading this spring, because I would love to know. If you have any recommendations for me, again, I would love to know. Leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!